Hey, horror fans, once again, it is me, the Horror Mizamani G. And yes, it is that time, and it's time for me to rank the Texas Chainsaw Massacre film series. After watching the latest requel or sequel to um, the direct original 1974 film Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022, it took me a while to go on ahead and see how I rank this series because this series is very difficult to rank because of the number of films that are really not that good, and of course, the continuity in these particular films. And remember, you have the three sequels after the 74 film, then you have the remake, then you have the prequel to the remake, and then you actually have the first requel to the original film, Texas Chainsaw 3D. Then you have the prequel, Leatherface, and now you have the one that just came out that's airing on Netflix, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022. 9 films altogether. So it was kind of difficult to rank these films, but I finally got it in. So here is my ranking of the Texas Chainsaw film series. No, just to let you know, this is my opinion. This is what I believe to be the order of how I rank this film series. Obviously, yours might be the same, might be a little bit different, but this is what I believe to be the order of the films. And we're going to start with what I believe the ninth film in the series, and that is it's either called Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Next Generation, or The Return of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Now, this film was released in 1995. It actually stars budding actors Renee Zellweger and Matthew Connelly, and we have Robert Jackson's Leatherface. Now, it's about 4 teenagers who encounter Leatherface and his murderer family in the backwoods of Texas on the night of their prom. It is the fourth installment of the series, and also features cameo appearances by Marilyn Burns, who played Sally in the original film. Now, while Matthew McConaughey actually does a pretty good performance here, this film is probably the worst interpretation of Leatherface. He's dressed in drag. His mask is horrible. We really don't have that many kills in the film, like Saw kills, if I remember this film correctly. Renee Zellweger, she's okay, but it just wasn't good. To me, it is the worst of the franchise. So coming in at number 9 is Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation. Coming in at number 8 is Texas Chainsaw 3D. Yes. Now, this was released in 2013. Put it this way, this film actually stars Alexandra Daddario. She's in this film. This is the first direct sequel to the 74 film, which ignores the previous sequels in the film. Basically, she's supposed to be a relative to the Sawyer family at this time right now. She inherited the mansion, and this one, Leatherface, is her cousin. And after he kills all her friends, she realizes that not only her friends were terrible, but the lawmakers were terrible who killed all her family. And of course, the favorite line that we have in this particular film, do you think, cuz? Oh man. Now some people do actually like this film. It is what it is. So coming in at number 8 is Texas Chainsaw 3D. Coming in at number 7 is Leatherface. Yes, Leatherface. Now, this film was released in 2017. This is supposed to be a prequel, which goes to the origins of how Leatherface began. Now, in this one, we're going more towards the remake where he is known as Hewitt, not Sawyer, as opposed to we see in the original film, it was the Sawyer family. This one is the Hewitt family, and we get to see some beginnings of his origin story. Now, after the sheriff finds out that supposedly Jebediah killed his daughter, he locks up Jebediah into this insane asylum. Several years later, we find out that his mother tries to release him from the insane asylum that he's in. We have these 4 people that escape. Now, we don't know who Leatherface is, but he's supposed to be one of the 4. Well, obviously, he's not the couple because there's a couple in here, and I really did like the couple. They were very good. For me, they were the best thing out of this film. There is obviously a trick that they try to pull on people thinking that the big guy is supposed to be Leatherface, but obviously I discounted that. I thought it was a nice way. It was something different, something interesting to try to show the origin because you never really know his backstory. So I really give the filmmakers credit for trying to do something different. But I thought what they did was not good. It's okay, but for me, it ranks number seven on in the film series. So coming at number seven is Leatherface. Coming at number six is Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022, the one we just saw last week. I did my review. If you want to see it, I'll leave a card up there that'll show me my review of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022. Yes, Leatherface is back. This is another requel, another direct sequel to the 74 original film. They actually bring back Sally's character from the original film, a la Halloween 2018, but she's wasting this film. I'm pretty sure you saw my review, what I thought about this film. All the characters are useless. They're not likable at all. We don't get any type of character development. We do get some bloody, gory kills in this film. Leatherface, I think it's Robert Berman. I think Mark Berman, who plays Leatherface. I thought he did a pretty good job. That's the only saving grace about this particular film. That's why it's ranked as high as it is. But coming in at number seven is Texas Chainsaw 2022. Coming in at number five is the first sequel, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Yes. This was released in 1986, and this is more of a comedy. This was directed by Tobe Hooper, and we have a little different mix in this one as opposed to the original one, which is a little bit more brutal. This was a little bit more comedic in this sense. Yeah, we still have the Sawyer family. They're back again. Obviously, Bill Moseley, he plays Chop Top in this particular film. I thought he did a very good job. Carolyn Williams, she's in this particular film as well. She plays the character of Stretch. Yeah, and we have Dennis Hopper. He is a relative of Sally and his uncle and her. I forget what the guy in the wheelchair. I thought who I think he might have been his son and his brother's sister, his brother's daughter. I think how their relationship is. But he's trying to get revenge on the Sawyer family. I thought he did a pretty good job. Like I said, his tonality is way different as opposed to the original film. I guess they thought it did a little bit more of a comedic route right here. You know, Leatherface, he's okay in this particular film. I know a lot of people do not like Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Yes, I'm talking to you, Brad. Brad, he can't stand this particular film. It, to me, is not one of the better ones in this series, but obviously I rank this because the other ones are worse than this one. So coming in at number five is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Coming in at number four is Leatherface, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. Now, this was released in 1999. This actually stars Kate Hodge, William Butler, Ken Foray, and Viggo Mortensen. And I think this guy's name is R.A. Mylanoff. He stars as Leatherface. And once again, we have the cannibalistic family stalking a motorist couple in the backyards of Texas. Now, when it comes to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I guess they thought they should go back to how the original film was, since the comedic route wasn't that successful as they thought it would. So they decided to go back to this particular version, which I really enjoyed. Kim Foray, he's great in his role and the character he is. I like Kate Hodge. She was great as a final girl in this film. I thought this film was great. I love the gold chainsaw that they give Leatherface, where the Saw is family. I really like this film. It kind of makes up what happened to the second film. So coming in at number four is Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. So coming in at number three is Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Beginning. It is a prequel to the 2006 remake of the same name. Now, in this particular one, we get to see some of the same characters that we saw in the remake. We have one of my favorite actors. We have R.E. Emery. He's in this one right here. Matt Boomer is in this one. Nora Baird and Joanna Brewster. She's in this one as well. And it's basically about these brothers who are trying to enlist into the army to go into the Vietnam War. They're with their girlfriends for one last time. Unfortunately, they run into Leatherface and his Hewitt family. And of course, insanity ensues. Well, not as good as the 2006 remake. I really did enjoy this one. You still had some of that gritty, grimy stuff that we saw in the remake, which I truly enjoyed. It really gives more brutal, more intense background to Leatherface and the whole Sawyer Hewitt family in this one. Right, that's why I enjoyed it. While not as good as the remake, I still enjoy this one. That's why it's ranked number three. So coming at number three is Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Beginning. Coming in at number two, it is the original the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the 1974 film, was directed by Tobe Hooper. You know, it amazes me because back during the 70s, we had these gritty films that used to come out, and I believe that's what Tobe Hooper was going for when you see this particular film. Being a 70s kid, when I saw these gritty films like, I Spit on Your Grave and The Last House on the Left and Wes Craven's original, The Hills Have Eyes, all those films all have gritty, grimy, very violent crimes. Now, the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre might not be as bloody as the remake or any of these other films, but the brutality is still there. I mean, you have the Sawyer family; they're a cannibalistic family. You have this uh, hunkering dude that kills people with chainsaws. It's still brutal, though not as bloody. That's perhaps why I ranked it in this. And this is two. I know most people believe that this is a great film series right here, and they always rank this as the original one. And at the time when I first saw Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I didn't see it in theaters. One of the few movies I did not go see in the theaters at the time. But when I finally saw it, I was not really impressed by it. But of course, I was just a kid back then. I might have been 10 or 11 years old when I first saw it. But now, obviously, as I got older and I've seen it more, now I appreciate what Tobe Hooper and his writing partner, Ken Hinkle, was doing with this particular series. And of course, Leatherface will become one of the more popular slashers. He's not part of the big three. He's not pop culture icon like, say, Freddy, Jason, or Michael R. But he does represent one of the better slashers in the slasher genre when it comes to horror films. So coming at number two is the original the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So obviously, my number one film in the series is the 2006 remake the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Sorry, I made a mistake. That actually came out in 2003. One of the reasons why I picked this over the original one is because of how grimy and gritty and brutal this film is. I mean, not only do you get the intensity and the brutality of this film, but it just grimy and gritty and dark and nasty looking. I think that's what the filmmakers are going for, and that's what I truly love about this series. I mean, you really get the sense of danger that Jessica Biel and her friends are. I mean, they really do it different. They literally set the film up a little bit different than the original film. We get the very young Lauren German. She plays a hitchhiker who's trying to escape from the Hewitt family. And once that happens, it just sets the whole scene up right there that we're in for a very dark and dangerous and grimy road. And I truly love the fact of how all you care about all the characters, unlike in the 2022 film that came out this year, where we don't care any about these characters. We really care about the characters, and I thought they did a fantastic job. I mean, you feel sorry for Jessica Biel's character when she has to kill one of her friends, because he's stuck and he can't get up, and he tells her, just put me out of my misery, and you feel her pain, her anguish that she has to euthanize him, unlike what we see in the 2022 film. And that's the reason why I put the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake as the number one film in this series. So there you have it, horror fans. That is my ranking of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre film series. Hope you did enjoy it. Oh, how do you rank this series? You can leave your comments in the comment section below. Also, please don't forget to like and share this video because it does help out with the YouTube algorithm. And if you're new here, please hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. That way you'll be notified anytime when I put a new video such as this one. Once again, my name is Lamont Smith, better known as the Horror Miser Monty G, and always remember that horror rules. And I'll see you in my next video. I'm out.